Well, welcome everybody, and I see we have a few people on here. And before I start my introduction, I'm open to anything, any Q&A you want to talk about. They've asked me to talk about offensive theory and mindset, but really, any Q&A you want to talk about the new rules, how it impacts water polo. Um, please feel free to jump in. Sorry about my name there. That's actually my son-in-law. I'm on his computer. But my name is Luis Nicolao. I'm now the head coach at Navy. I'm actually a Navy graduated from Academy in 92. Grew up in Northern California, played water polo at Bellarmine High School for Larry Rogers. Uh, Before coming back to the Navy, I was at Princeton for 20 years where I coached men and women's water polo at Princeton. Uh, had a great experience there, loved every minute of it, but had a chance to come back to the Academy and jumped on it. And having gone to the Academy, it was a no-brainer for me. So I was asked here to do this Q&A and kind of talk about offensive kind of theory and water polo. And before I get started, is there any questions? Anybody want me to talk about anything different, or do they want me just to shoot into really what our mindset is on playing offense in water polo? All right, great. I'm not very tech savvy. I do have some clips here, but we talk a lot with our team on what our goal is every game, and our goal every game is to really limit the opponent to as few goals as possible. And what does that mean? What's your best defense is a good offense. And for us, really, what we're trying to do on the offensive end is make them play defense, minimize the amount of possessions they have on offense, and use the whole clock as much as we can. And if you watch the highest level of water polo, whether it's collegiate, international, one thing you don't see a lot of is counterattacks. And that's because both teams do everything they can not to get countered, to take care of the ball, use every second of the clock, and try and isolate a matchup, whether it's at 2 meters, on a drive, on a post up, just really trying to make sure that you force them to play defense every second of the clock. Um, when you see inexperienced teams play, you see a lot of counterattacks. You see a lot of forced shots, forced passes, entry passes early in the shot clock that result in turnovers, and turnovers result in counterattacks. And I've been very fortunate to coach Atchie Johnson, Peter Sabatini. I can go on and on about how many great goalies I have. It doesn't matter how good of a goalie you are. If you're giving up 2-on-1s, 1-on-nobodies, 3-on-2s, you're going to get scored on. But if you can play 6-on-6 defense, then you get a chance to stop them every time. So we get to the offensive end. What we're trying to do is find a balance. Look what's happening at 2 meters. What is the defense doing? Are they trying to press us? Are they dropping on us? And be patient and force them. So we have some clips here. We took our first clip, and I hope you can all see this. This is the USA national team. And you can see him come in and set up. And I think it's Ryder who gets a shot off. But it's all about they wait to the last possession, last second of the shot clock. Therefore, nobody's driving late in the clock. There's no surprise on the shot, and nobody gets countered. So let's watch this possession here from Ryder. Hopefully, you can all see it. So they get in here, they're going to step their offense. You can see where's the whole set setting. It's all what side of the. So they got a little play. They're going to bring in the guy from one. And it's all about being patient. The defense goes into a drop, high counter shot with 4 seconds to go on the shot clock. And we talk a lot about shot placement with our guys, um, shooting the ball high hard. Good things happen when you shoot the ball high hard. When you shoot that ball low, you're feeding into their counterattack because then the goalie can stuff it. He should control the ball. Whereas if you go high hard, either it's going to be a goal or a new shot clock. Yeah, maybe it'll be a save, but it's much more difficult for the goalie to possess the ball when you shoot the ball high. So let's watch the second clip here. Is this the next clip? Yep. You see USA against them dark caps, and you'll see that shot clock up in the right hand corner, left hand corner there. Again, it's all dictated on what the offense is doing at 2 meters. So he set the 1-2 side. We're going to try to get the ball to the 1-2 side. Nope, he's got back to point now. And there's very little movement on offense because they're really trying to control the clock. I like to see more movement under control. But again, now we're down to 10 seconds. And now we're going to try and attack the defense here. Bowman gets a foul and a shot with 2 seconds. It's not really complicated what they're doing on offense. It's just all trying to control the tempo, use every second they can. And again, Bowman goes high, cross cage hard, and it's in the back of the net. There isn't any really trick. I know a lot of teams try and run plays. For us, when we're at the collegiate level, we're trying to keep our defenders. And if I'm ever talking too fast, please let me know. The goal for the guy at 2 or 1, and again, our basic numbering system, 1 is the far bottom left corner, 2, the point is 3, 4 is the right-handed lefty spot, top right, and then 5 is down the deep ring in the far side. Your job is to keep your defender occupied by moving, releasing, and you got to look at where the whole set is. And that's one thing we really make a mistake at the younger level is we have a 3-pass rule at Navy. You pass the ball 3 times, that third pass, something good should happen. Is it a shot? Are you making an entry pass? Is somebody posting up? You're not passing the ball just to pass the ball. If you're in basketball, I always try and compare to basketball. You're throwing the ball to a side of the court because you have the center face that side. No different than water polo. If you're making a pass to the 1-2 side, it's because the whole set has the 1-2 side set. If the whole set's at the 4-5 side, then it's going to that side. I always try and tell our guys to make sure before you ever make a pass, where is the whole set setting? That should dictate everything, because by making that pass to that side, you're hopefully forcing the defense into a drop. Once they drop, it's a lot harder to counter. They can't press the lanes. You're forcing defense now to play reactionary defense based on what you're going to do in offense. And if you're patient in your shot and don't shoot it with 11, 12 to go on the shot clock, you're going to get a good look at 2 meters. You're going to get a good shot on the outside. So that really dictates everything we do on offense is where that whole set is facing and trying to get the ball to that side to force the defense to drop. Because in these new rules, the ball goes as set, most likely it's going to be ejection. And we always try and tell our whole sets, you're not shooting the ball. It's very hard to shoot a ball with a guy that's the same size as you, if not bigger. You're working for an ejection. You're working to try and get the defense to get kicked out, because if you shoot the ball 9 out of 10 times, that can result in a counterattack. Yeah, you can score against a lesser team, but if you watch Ben Halleck, you watch the girls, they're always trying to turn for an ejection, trying to move away from the defense. You do that, you win the kickout war, you're going to be in great shape. If you're shooting the ball, if you're a black hole, you're going to get countered. Your job at whole set is to keep your teammates involved. Ball comes in early in the shot clock, 17-14, draw a foul, kick the ball back out. When you have late in the clock and it comes in, you may get a shot off because you have position, but nobody in your team now is surprised. They're not surprised you're taking a shot with 4 seconds. They're not caught in a drive that if they're driving, boom, you shoot, you miss, it's a counterattack goal. So again, it's all about possession. It's about controlling the ball, controlling what's going on with the shot clock, and trying to get that 3-2 on one side of the pool, whether it's left or right, and attacking 2 meters. Excuse me. Does that make sense? Am I talking too fast? Are there any questions about that offensive kind of mindset? It's not hard. For defense, we talk about all the time. When we give up 18, 17 goals, 7 or 8 of them are going to be off counterattacks. That's bad offense. Bad defense is bad offense. And if you're not playing good offense and you're giving up counterattacks, it doesn't matter what your defensive scheme is, you're going to get blitzed. You're going to get beat. So you see it, that international water polo can be really boring to watch because nobody drives. Nobody moves. They sit there, they play catch, And if they enter the ball late in the clock, they hope for an ejection or it's an outside shot. So when you watch younger kids play, and you watch high school water polo, and you see all these counterattacks, it's because of the offense, bad decisions um, are happening, and it leads to easy counterattack goals. And that's what you're always trying to prevent. So we talk a lot about possession, moving the ball. Um, but then it also starts, and I don't know how many young coaches we have that coach young kids. It's all about fundamentals. I tell our kids every year at camp, if we only passed and shot, that's it. We did a week camp and we did nothing but passing and shooting, they would all become better water polo players. It doesn't matter what your offensive scheme is. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you can't throw a dry pass to your teammate, everything else is irrelevant. And I see it on my college kids. We run a great play, we call a timeout, and they throw the ball at the guy's chest, or they throw the ball 2 feet too high. It's passing. And you wonder why you see these Europeans with such great ball skills and great ball handling. It's all passing. I ask my kids every time when you miss a shot, hey, did you miss that on purpose? No. Did you throw that bad pass on purpose? No. Well, why is that happening? You're not following through. Your left shoulder's not, if you're a righty, you're not rotating. And we talk a lot about, hey, get out of the pool and throw me a water polo ball. Throw a ball like you would on ground. Well, Tom Brady, Nolan Ryan, they're all following through with their left shoulder, pointing at the object they're passing to. But as soon as they get in the water, they're passing like this. Does Tom Brady throw a football like this? No. Does Nolan Ryan throw a baseball like this? No. They all throw a left shoulder first. But you get in the water and they're not rotating. And so we always talk about, why'd you miss a shot? Well, you missed because you didn't follow through. You're not rotating your shoulder. If we only did passing, and that's what Europeans do, you see them, they'll pass for hours, and their ball skills are so good. And that's the advantage they have on it. Did you miss the goal on purpose? Hey, did you mean to shoot the ball at the goalie's belly? Why did that happen? Because you didn't snap your wrists. You didn't follow through. Hey, your left shoulder's pointing over here, and you shot the ball 4 feet wide. If you follow baseball, you'll hear the announcer saying, hey, the pitcher can't find home plate because his shoulder's opening up early. Well, yeah, he's not using his pointer to point the ball to home plate. It's no different. It's no different in water polo. So if we have anybody that coaches youth sports here, if you just did passing for months at a time, you would develop very good water polo players. They all want to get in. They want to shoot. They want to scrimmage. They want to shoot. They want to scrimmage. But then they get a chance to have one or nobody and throw the ball 10 feet over the guy's head because they can't pass the ball. I could go on and on about about X and O's and water polo, but the problem we're lacking in USA water polo is just basic fundamentals. At the young age, can I throw a dry pass? I tell our guys all the time, the pass is the goal. Everybody gets credit for who scores the goal, but it's the missed chances because of a bad pass that we really harp on. Can you make a pass in your teammate's hand that gives him the goal? We talk a lot about assists all the time. Assist, a word is so important. If you throw a bad pass, everything is irrelevant. So do passing drills, do black balls that are heavy, that forces kids to rotate their shoulders. Talk about not being vertical. If you ever pass a ball from your back, you're going to fail. If you catch it and go on your back, why are you on your back? Because your legs are right below your butt. You're vertical in the water. You got to have some balance. You got to have your lower part of your body behind you, so you create some base, some leverage. It's really frustrating to see our young kids, high school kids, throwing the ball all over the pool. It's just not enough time with the fundamentals. So that's the biggest piece of advice I give you if you coach high school or younger kids. And I wish we did more passion in college. We a couple weeks ago, I think had 19 turnovers in one game. 19 turnovers, 10 of those are all passing. Everything else doesn't matter. 10 of your possessions, you're throwing the ball away. You can't win the game. So if you focus on passing, you get them out of the water, you say, hey, how are you passing the ball now out of the water? Now get in the water. Why is your left shoulder not pointing at your partner? You always want to point your off shoulder that you're passing to your partner. When a kid misses a goal, misses a shot, stop and say, hey, why'd you miss? All right. We talk a lot about controlling the shot. When you shoot it, every time we shoot in practice, I tell my guys, tell yourself where you're going to shoot it. Okay. Tell your teammate to the right of you, hey, I'm going to go near side high, cross cage high. Control your shot. It doesn't matter how hard you throw it. If it doesn't go at the goal, it's a turnover. It doesn't matter how hard a pitcher throws it. If it doesn't go over the plate, it's a ball. So we talk a lot about shot placement, reading the goalie. Every goalie's taught to take away near side. So why are you shooting the ball when you have 6 inches to the right of him and 8 feet to the left of him? Shoot the ball where the goalie's not. Okay. Goalies they're all taught near side, near side. So shoot the ball cross cage. If you coach women's sports, women's water polo, goalies are 5'7", 5'8". It's the same size goal. Just shoot the ball where they're not. It's a good chance it's going to go in. All right. We talk a lot about skip shots. Why are you skipping the ball? It looks great when it goes in, but the other 9 times you miss, it's a turnover. You got 5 bodies in front of you. You got water that's kind of like a waves. It's going to go 8 feet over the goal. It's the worst shot in water polo because you're saying, I'm going to throw this ball as hard as I can, but I have no idea where it's going. So great. It looks great when it goes in one time, but the other 9 times, oh my God, what are you doing? Just be on your legs. Look at the goalie. If the ball's coming from one side to the other side, well, that goalie's moving near side, just shoot across cage, little less, take a little heat off of it, and it's going to go in. It's very frustrating, these kids that try to shoot the ball through the goalie, and it happens over and over and over. And I really pound on them in games and practice. What are you doing? Where was that shot? Why did you shoot the ball near side low? He's sitting there. Okay, why did you not go across cage? You got 6 feet of open goal. We talk a lot about water polo is 90% mental. Can you be a thinker? Can you think about when the ball's coming to you at 1 and the goalie's diving near side, do you have the brain to shoot it cross cage high? Because it's going to go. So we talk a lot about that, body placement, shoulder rotation, following through, snapping the wrist. And just when you do it in shooting drills, like the sniper is a great little tool to have. Put that sniper on the goal. It has 5 or 6 holes in it. Can the kids put the ball in the hole? Can they have enough control of their shot that the ball goes up or left, up or right? Because one thing goalies hate are shots on goal. So if you make the goalie make saves, they're going to get frustrated very fast. And I've been rambling. Any questions? Anything I've been talking about, or I see some people laughing, smiling. Please shoot.
Well, I'm not laughing at you. I love the fact that 90% of what you're saying is what I say every practice, and I get the same damn results that you get.
I think we all say the same thing. Everybody says it's mind-boggling. The kids are stubborn, and I always thought, okay, we're just trying to make them better. I'm not mad you missed the goal, but why did you miss it? You're not rotating, you're not following through, you're on your back. All those simple things.
Once a week, I just have to stop and to say, "Are you guys practicing missing?"
Yeah.
And they'll laugh it off. And I'm like, you got to be introspective and sort of self-analyze. Why did you miss that shot? I do have a question for you though.
Yes, sir.
So with the new NC2A adopting the goal area, do you see that as an advantage for the offense or for the defense, or has it really made any difference in the way you play the game?
That's a great question. I like it. One problem we have on offense is we never get deep enough. So now trying to get that deep wing all the way down to the 1 foot line, I think would put more pressure on the defense. I still don't think we've accomplished what we want to accomplish, in that in college there's not very many programs, so every school has a good goalie. And we still see so much dropping going on that our game's very boring. The ball's not getting in 2 meters. Because it's hard to score an outside shot through arms when you have 3 or 4 guys, or 6'4", 6'3". You have a good goalie. People are still dropping. I still think we're trying to figure it out on the offensive end in 6-on-5. Yes, I think it's better for the offense. I think it's put more pressure on the defense, but we haven't really got to the point where the kids are really used to using it. So we're doing video, and I can look, offense possessions. We have nobody inside the 2 meter line. And I think the guys still aren't used to playing with it because they haven't played 3 or 4 years with it. that we can get guys driving backdoor over the top. If you get guys down in the deep wing with the ball in the goal line, you put a lot more pressure on that backdoor drive if guys will follow through and drive all the way in. So I don't know if I answered the question. I think still it's a work in progress. I still think we have some changes to be made, but I do like it.
I see your point when you're even up. When you go to a 6-on-5, do you feel like it still helps the offense, or
Yes, it's helping the offense. Yes, it's
kind
not.
of ball, unless you're really deep, is sort of taking away that that far post lob in redirect shot?
It's helping, but again, I come back to what I talked about 5 minutes ago. It's helping the offense, but when you throw the bad pass, it doesn't matter.
Mm.
When you catch and drop it, it doesn't matter. When you pump 4 times and shoot into shot blocking, just watching this past summer, the female announcer that I don't think knew anything about water polo, she was talking about how when you catch and shoot, the ball goes in. Like, oh my God. I mean, how many times I said catch and shoot? But no, we're going to pump it 4 times. We're going to let the defense move, get the goalie ready, and then we're going to try and shoot it through 4 arms. So yes, I think it's helping. You got a guy like Ben Halleck on the 2 post who's 6 foot, and they throw it up there and he dunks the ball, but we throw the ball 3 feet over the guy's head, or we throw the ball in the guy's belly. So it comes back to fundamentals. I think until we get better at the fundamentals and catching and shooting, all these rule changes. Yeah, UCLA looks great and Stanford looks great, but I don't. It's a matter of getting better skilled players to take advantage of these rules.
I have a follow on to that, and I certainly don't mean to pick on anybody that's willing to be a referee, but do you think the referees have like caught up with the rule? It's a very
Um,
hard rule for a referee to like really judge.
yeah, that's a tough one because I have a love-hate relationship with referees. I know how hard their job is. It's a really tough sport to referee. Um, but yeah, I think we're missing a lot of 5 meters that should be called. A lot of guys are on the back grabbing an arm or holding that we're not yet used to calling. Um, so I hope they catch up to it some. I think, like we said, and I don't know why our sport's crazy. We changed the rules in August, so we didn't have any time to practice this. Why we didn't do this in January and have all spring to work on it, all summer to work on it. Water polo drives me crazy, and how we're so late to make adjustments that here we are starting fall season with brand new rules that we had no time to practice with. And same with the officials. Unless you refereed international water polo, you're not used to it. So they're human. So yeah, they may forget, if you grab a guy's arm from behind, or that's now a 5 meter rather than no call.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
No, you bet.
Like we've got a question from Charlie who says, any tips for taller players on how to use height to my advantage in passing and shooting?
Yes, legs, legs, and more legs. The stronger your legs get, the better player you're going to be. It's all about rising out of the water and stand on your legs. I was very lucky to have an Olympic goalie come work with our players back at Princeton years ago, Chris Dorst. And it was funny. He said all the X and O's, all that matters is legs, legs, and legs. Okay, that is so important in our sport. Whether you're a 2 meter man, whether you're a driver, the stronger the legs you have, the better player you're going to be. So if you can leg up to your belly button, you can get your suit out of the water, you're going to be a much better player. You're going to be much more accurate in your passing, your shooting. And that's something you can do on your own. We talk about basketball players, Michael Jordan getting cut and going to the gym and just shooting on his own. You can jump in the water with a milk carton, milk jug, water jug, and just do legs. If you work on your legs, you will see the difference, I guarantee you, in a few months. One of my lines that one of my assistant coaches uses all the time, and in football, if you throw a bad pass and hits the ground, the play's over. Okay, you get to do it all over again. In water polo, you throw a bad pass, it's going to cost you a goal. Okay, it's gonna make a mistake. So always be patient on offense. Don't try and create something that's not there. Don't try and force the action. It's not bad to dump the ball. My 2004 water polo team at Princeton got to play UCLA in the semifinals in the Final Four. and we had one of the best goalies in the country in Peter Sabatini, and we had no business of even playing with UCLA. And in the fourth quarter, it's 4-4. And I think we dumped the ball like 14 times because we just were not going to get countered. If we had nothing, we threw the ball in the corner. Don't force the action on offense because again, it's going to result in a turnover and an easy goal. So think about that when you're thinking about matchups and who you're playing. If you know they're a better team and they're going to look to counter you, don't be afraid to dump that ball. There's nothing wrong with going down and playing 6-on-6 defense. No, now we lost. Unfortunately, we lost it overtime. But yeah. Any other questions? Well, thank you so much for the time. You can always email me if you have a question. We run some clinics, we run some camps in the summertime that we'd love to have coaches come for a day, for 2 days. We'll help you get there, put you up. We always love to do coach to coaches because the better we can get at the high school youth level, the better we'll get at the collegiate level and international. So if you ever want to come out to Annapolis for a day, a weekend, for a camp, please just shoot me an email. It's on the website. Love to have you.